Hi, my name is George Dagnino, and I'm the editor of the Peter Dack Portfolio since 1977. In this short presentation, I would like to share with you some data that will help you recognize what is the main reason for the European crisis, and from this data, we'll also probably recognize what is the solution to the European problems. This slide shows the current account balances for two sets of countries: the countries with a current account deficit and the countries with a current account surplus. The current account balance is the largest definition of trade balance, which adds to the imports less exports, adds also the financial inflows or outflows in a country. So a country that is attractive has a lot of money going into that country, and therefore that country has a current account balance that improves and becomes more, chances are, becomes more positive. Now the countries with the current account deficit are in the US with 477 billion, Britain with 88 billion, Canada with 56 billion, and then look at all this country: France, Greece, Italy, Spain. These are all countries with a very large current account deficit. In other words, these people owe a lot of money because they have a trade deficit, plus chances are that there is cash outflow going out of that particular country. Now, these are the countries instead with a current account surplus. And of course, everybody talks about China, which is $191 billion because of all the trade surplus plus the investments flowing into China. However, if you look at Germany, Germany has a current account surplus of $218 billion. Considering the relative size of Germany and China, really Germany is a major competitive country with this huge current account surplus. Then, of course, you see the other Northern European country, Netherlands with 79 billion, Denmark with 20 billion, Norway with 78, Sweden, and the little Switzerland with a trade surplus of $78 billion. Now, why is the European problem? Well, the European problem is that all these countries, the countries that are in trouble, right? France, Greece, Italy, Spain, they have a current account deficit because they owe money to these people here, to these people. So what is happening is that the Germany, the Netherlands, and the Sweden and Switzerland of this world, they say, you guys have to pay me because you borrowed to import from us. Now you have to pay. And they, guess what? They don't have the money. So that's what the problem is. They borrowed to import the stuff that they needed from the country, the highly productive countries, and now they don't have the money. So the issue from here to the real problem in Europe is competitiveness. This is another way of looking at the problem, is that the country with a large current account deficit is because they are not efficient, they are not productive, so they have to import a lot. But why are they non-productive? Well, this chart shows labor cost adjusted for productivity. And look what happens. Germany is so productive, and their the unit labor cost, that basically did not change since 2000. So you see unit labor cost. That's why they export a lot, because they're so productive that keep costs under control. But if you look at UK, Greece, Italy, Ireland, Spain, and France, look where their labor costs are gone. Look at what huge difference is with these labor costs, how fast they went, and look at Germany. So the reason for the problems in Europe is that the countries that owe a lot of money to the country with a surplus is because they are non-productive. So the issue is not financial, but is an issue of productivity for the countries that have such a huge trade deficit or current account deficit. So what is the moral of the story? That the countries with a large current account deficit, they are borrowing They are borrowing to finance their current account deficit without worrying about how to generate the wealth to pay the exporting countries, that is, to pay the Germany, the Netherlands of this world. So what is happening now, Germany and the Netherlands and Sweden, they say, well, I want my money back. I want to get paid. And they say, oops, we don't have it because we borrowed a lot, but we didn't generate the wealth to repay you. That's what the problem is. What is the main policy issue? The current account deficit is the problem, indicating lack of competitiveness. This is the key word. So for the US and Europe, the issue is improving competitiveness. It's not austerity. The Europeans don't need austerity. The Europeans and the US, countries with a large current account deficit, is to improve competitiveness. What is the main reason for lack of competitiveness? There are many books and there is a large body of literature that says when in any country there is a high concentration of power, the competitiveness decreases because the people that have the power, the people that have the wealth, they're trying to protect their wealth and their power, and therefore they don't care if the country suffers. Now, this is not my idea, but if you look and read the book, Why Nations Fail, that's exactly what the book is talking about. Thank you very much for reviewing this presentation, and I hope to see you very, very soon. So long. Have a nice day.